not all young kids do stupid things. Some people have a reason to why they do them. It just don't work out for them. Not all young kids are like aggressive. Some of them just have stuff going at home, and when they come to school, there's no parents to keep them in check. They can really do what they want until then their parents get called. But you can be dealing with a completely different kid at home than there is at school.
Welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr. And to the right of me, we got a very special guest, a lifelong, long time, Kut Different mentee, junior mentor, Mr. Kadrion. How you feeling today, KJ?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. You rubbing your hands like bird. You've been rubbing your hands like that for years. Cool. Oh, you use that is your go-to. You've been doing that for a while. Yo, yo, that's so funny. We got to get it on here as well. So this is another one. I'm gonna drop it on here. We did a TikTok, right? And I was doing a TikTok, and I just so happy put it on KJ, and KJ was like, "You try to look sexy or something," but I was like, I said, if your boyfriend don't look like he look at you like that. But I'm gonna put that on here. That's funny. But glad to have KJ with him. To the right of KJ, we got the Rocket, the IS-7.
Yo, what's up,
How you
man?
feeling today, bro?
Good, bro. How about you?
Awesome, man. So if you don't know, right now we're in our summer leadership academy. You do know because if you watched the podcast before, you would know that. All right. So starting July and starting in June, end of July, we'll be having our banquet. All right. So I know that's gonna pop up. July 25th will be our end of the summer gala. I said banquet, but it'll be end of the summer gala. Make sure you're there. You'll see people like KJ up there on the stage, owning his greatness and just showing his worth. Another thing you can do right before we get into this conversation, you can stop what you're doing and like, subscribe, and comment. All right, KJ, what else they can do?
They can also.
I just want you to say like, subscribe, and comment. That's it. Just follow up. Just say like, subscribe, comment.
They can like, subscribe, and comment.
What you was gonna say though?
I was gonna say they can share it to their friends too.
Okay, yo, go ahead. Don't tell them what they can do. Go ahead.
You can also share it to your friends. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everybody get to know what Kut Different is about.
Yeah. I like that, man. Let's get it back to you since you're doing such a great job. If nobody ever heard about Kut Different, what would you tell them about Kut Different?
If nobody ever heard about Kut Different, I'll say it's a good thing to enroll your child in if they don't have a male role model, or at least a good one. Like if people around them are doing bad things, going to jail, I think we should enroll them in Kut Different. They'll help them put some structure into them, teach them discipline, accountability, and show them different ways of life that they probably wouldn't have access to without them.
Yeah, right on, man. You can tell this boy been a part of this for a while. Mm-hmm. With that being said, just to get in a little bit, we wanted the people to know who you are. We're going to get into, your story a little bit and also talk about what we got going on right now with you. But for those of you that don't know, if you could tell them a little bit about you and then how you get involved with Kut Different, like what made you start with Kut Different?
Well, my name is KJ, 14, go to Northland High School, going in my 10th grade year. I first started Kut Different. My auntie knew a friend. Their friend's nephew was enrolled in Kut Different. Knew him, we had fun together. My auntie pulled a few strings, did the interview. I was like 10 when I first did this really cool interview. And after that, here we are now.
Yeah. What do you remember about that? What do you remember about that Zoom call that we did?
I remember I was young.
You have no hair.
I know.
Yeah.
I was bald. I was young. I see in our house we had these chairs went up to like here. So I had to climb on top of the chair to get in the view of the laptop on the Zoom meeting. And then for whatever reason I just kept repeating, I'm really fast, I'm fast, blah 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 blah. But I guess that's because that's all that really mattered at the time. And the school setting I was in, speed was really the ranking. for the school system, I guess. But
Yeah, that's dope that you said that. So, and I remember that as well. But before you even saying, when you said that and you were saying you were fast, mentioning that that was the thing and that's all you can remember. Thinking to now and looking back at that kid, and I'm gonna go forward to go back again, but thinking about the difference what's the difference from the KJ that sits here now and the KJ that was in that chair?
the difference between the KJ here now and the KJ that sat in that chair.
Your hair.
Yeah. Braces.
Yeah. I say that one is just more more positive, I say, like happy-go-lucky, like just more happy and positive overall, not that much experience. Not saying I'm not happy now, but just more of like a bubbly type of dude. Now, more experience, I can focus better. I'm able to like see what I want to do in the future. And now I gotta start preparing for my future. It's not like I have a bunch of years anymore. Got what, 2 more years left.
Yeah, life come fast, brother. So you started with us, I don't know what the year, I don't remember what the year was, but anyway, you was like 5th grade, whatever year that was. Now you're going into your 10th grade year?
Yes, sir.
You're going into your 10th grade year. If you could think back to that, and you're a junior mentor now, so that's a difference. So some of people don't know, he's a junior mentor within our organization. So we have mentees, then we have junior mentors, which are high school students. If you could share, what is the role of a junior mentor, if you could put it into your own words? What do you think the role is?
I think the role is to really make sure the boys are in check, not letting them get too loud, still holding them accountable, and helping them out where they need help, giving them advice when they need advice, and making sure they feel comfortable to come to you, talk to you if they need to.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's go back, man. What was your first summer like with Kut Different? All right, so I think this is one of the best things in the world for a young man. But if you don't think that, you don't have to say that. But what was your first summer like? If you can go back to that first summer with us, how was that with us?
My first summer was fun.
Yeah.
That first summer, I remember going to the construction site most because I had those one pair of play shoes. I was trying not to get them dirty or wet. That mud at the construction site was over with.
Yeah.
But I remember controlling that crane and stuff. I remember going on some exposure trips. And then the most fun part I remember was the B&B that we went to.
Yeah. What's the B&B? Some people may not know that. Man.
Airbnb is like a house that the owner rents for other people to come in, stay for a short period of time, then leave.
Yeah, I just wanted you to say Airbnb. That's it. So if you remember that experience, what was that whole summer? Obviously you talked about some of the exposure trip that stuck to you, talked about the Airbnb. But what did you extract, like from a kid that never had an experience with Kut Different or any male mentorship? What did you extract from that opportunity and with your first reaction with us?
One thing that I pulled away was that it's not all about sports. There's other things to life than sports. Sports is not where it's always going to take you in life. There's different avenues and different ways.
Yeah. So right now, I remember when I first met you, it was all football. It was ask you who we going to be, where you going to go, you always say the NFL. Then I would look at you, I'm like, are you sure, man? You still want to be an NFL player? Right now at your current state, what is KJ? Right now, if you had to say, what do you want to be when you grow up, what would you tell her?
Well, my first answer will, of course, be football. I still do want to go to NFL, go to college, but my second that I would want to be like some sort of accountant or some type of person that's like making deals, helping people accomplish what they want, both sides getting what they want.
Yeah.
I can see that. You're always making deals, my guy.
Yeah. So going back to and so one thing and this is not to pick on you. All right, we just having a little fun, but I want to be serious. This is something I want to get to the bottom of. When you look at you and you look at your size and you turn on the TV and you look at people in the field, you can easily see that you don't measure up to the size of that what they're looking for from that standard. What makes you think that you still have the chance to be an NFL player?
Well, not done growing. I think if I can get to the size of a simple running back and I put on some pounds, keep working out, keep being dedicated to football, I think I can get there.
Yeah. And I don't doubt you can. And I believe it as well. But there's also something that's called reality. And sometimes I think some people are not in reality. They're in a fake reality. And we begin to create these ideas. For me, I always thought I was going to the NFL because, and I'm small for the NFL as well. So, but that's all I would hear. People talk about football. People talk about football. And the reason I'm asking you this now, because, yeah, that may have been your experience before, but now that's not your experience. You've seen so much through us and even probably just through your life that you can understand now it's more out there than football, but you're still deciding to say football. So I just want to really get into the mindset, why still football?
Yeah, football is, not going to say it's not my primary choice, but it's something I still do want to do. Mm-hmm. But I do realize it's not a high likely chance of me going to the NFL or something like that. But that is something I still do want to pursue.
All right, one more. Oh,
what I was about to say, so even with hearing them say that, you think back to, like you just said, so we have a lot of the boys. I mean, we were talking about, even with today, when we were talking about when some of the boys got a little heated out there because somebody didn't throw the ball right, and then one of the other boys got upset. But you said it in that moment, you were like, they're not understanding that a lot of them may not even really go because they're not, talented enough. But for you at this age and at this state that you're in, what we realize is that you have the mental capacity to understand and know, like, all right, yes, I want to do football, but I also know that let me go ahead and find the second backup plan just in case. Yeah, and then that was part of the conversations we were having in the room too. You remember, it was, just talking about within the Junior Mentor program, being able to utilize the program to help you figure out what your next plans are. But I mean, that's something that that we see in you, that you're ahead of a lot of the people that is your age. The way that you think and the things that you ask a lot of questions. And sometimes people may be like, why does he ask those questions? But those questions actually help you forward things, so you already know your next move. So man, I get it. If you ever want to go to the NFL, you might go to the NFL. But I know if that doesn't work out, you're not worried because you have a plan B.
Yeah. And even thinking about the NFL, when you can think about like the standard is the standard. That's something we've been saying all summer. If you think about it's making me think about just seeing you out here actually being the one that's holding the time of blowing the whistle while the boys are running, and usually they have to run for something they did. Have you ever thought while you're on the other side as a junior mentor, looking at them run, holding the time or holding them accountable for not making it, like, dang, that used to be me. Like on the other side of this, that used to me. I used to be that guy with my foot probably not on the line. I used to be that guy that used to be in the in the session and talk or do something that I'm not supposed to do. So now being the junior mentor, if you could, what would you go back and tell your younger self, that guy that was the one making the mistakes before?
Sometimes I do see myself and some of those boys like falling asleep in class, like while we was having the sessions. That would be me a couple times. Not gonna lie.
Can't have to stand up in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember y'all said you about to go to sleep, stand up. We ain't gonna penalize you for standing up. Then somebody always ends up going to sleep anyway. You have to hit the baseline right after. But yeah, I do. If I could tell my younger self anything, I'll say, just focus. Don't be getting distracted from the main thing, because you can benefit from a lot of things that they're teaching you.
Yeah. What I want to do, I want to get real, man. Because when we had these conversations, we're trying to extract something from you that the viewers are watching. A mom, a dad, a teacher, that you can say something that may set them free or may help their child, or even a young person watching, it may help them. I want to ask you, all right, so you went from that hump from being a middle schooler to a high school. So all that phase of your life is a tough phase. Even jumping from middle school to high school, that's a big jump. That's a big phase. What is something that almost like just took you out? And when I say took you out, like emotionally, mentally, something that you really struggle with. What are some things you struggle with in this process?
One of the things I struggle with was just my chemistry class. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was ready to give up. I ain't want to have nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
Because during my middle school year, I didn't really have to study. I just remember what the teacher taught to, and I'd still get good grades. So I never got, and before high school, I never got anything below a C. My whole middle school year, even my 8th grade year, I had like A's and B's the whole year. But my high school chemistry class, that's like a big wake up. Like that, I was struggling in the chemistry class. It was like every other class I could get right except that class, no matter how much I tried.
Yeah.
Like the first quarter, I thought, like the first time I came in class, I was like, okay, chill, I'm not gonna have to study or nothing. Didn't have to in middle school. I ain't studied my whole life. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be chilling. I ain't tripping. Then going to class, start taking multiple tests on top of tests. It's like a test every week. I'm like, God damn, I'm not doing good on them. I'm averaging a D in the class. I'm like, God, man. Second quarter hit. And it's really starting to hit for me. I'm like, God, this grade not getting up no matter how much I do. But Miss Penny, shout out to her, she helped me. She came to me and said, hey, if you want extra help after school, that's fine with me. And during that time I had football, so I was gonna have to stay after school anyways. So my sixth period, I'll go to her and she'll help me brush up on some things in class. So even then, I still wasn't getting it together somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Then third quarter, instead of just doing it at school, I started going home studying. Then that's when it started to bump up. Then I finished the year off with a B.
That's what's up. So congrats to you. That's a whole lesson on perseverance right there. But during that whole transition from the D to the B, I'm pretty sure there were some low times in that moment. How did that work on your self-confidence? Being a kid that said, I never had to study, I never got below a C, B or whatever you just said, and now you're getting D's, that can play on a person's confidence. Like, I'm like, man, what? Did you ever get down on yourself, and how did you get through that?
Well, definitely. When I got home, that report card, seeing A's and B's, then that one D, I'm like, good Lord. Everything else is fine except that one grade.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking in my head, bro, I got to get this together. Even my mom, she only tough about my grades.
Yeah.
And when she saw, she like, I ain't know. And ran back another one, it's going to be some problems. Then I had to actually explain it to her. It's not even that I'm not trying. I'm trying. It's just not working. But after she understood, she wasn't really tripping on me too much. She was just like, just try to get up for me. I know you're trying, just try to get up. Yeah. But I was most definitely down at myself sometimes, but I just kept trying.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want to finish the year off with a D because that would lower my GPA for my future years.
For sure.
So I just had to try, and it paid off.
So one thing I'm thinking as well, man, being in a day and age where being smart is not like the cool thing. You know what I mean? So like having the A honor, AB honor, that's not going to get you the cool award. For a kid that's going to school and literally is the one that's upset because he has a D, and you are smart, like you're a smart kid. How do you navigate a school campus or a world that doesn't highlight that or doesn't showcase that? You get what I'm saying? They'll rather glorify the negative stuff. How do you as a young man navigate that?
Well, at least my classes, they weren't really, it's not like if you were smart, you're an outcast type of deal. For me, it's like, I was smart, and if I had questions on things, I asked my questions. Really being smart make people come to you because if they need help, you help them out, new friends. And it's not even that they'll just come to you when they need stuff. They'll come to you even just to talk.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, that's cool because and more so even on the outside, because you on the school campus, it's a lot of young people. What we just did, the impostor syndrome thing, that's walking around being who they not. And a kid like you would be an easy kid to, if it was a table in the lunchroom and all the cool kids are over here, you know what I mean? They'll be over there and then you'll be an outsider. So I just want to know, did you ever experience any of that, just being there, but you never experienced that?
I've just been cool with people. I mean, at one time I did experience it when I started going to Madison Street. I first got there, I thought it was a white people's school, so I'm like, well, one of the only black kids there, I don't really belong there. Mm-hmm. Then I got there, it was a couple black kids. I was just a neutral person.
Yeah. That what you gonna say, Rob?
There was so because I remember too when KJ, because again you asked a lot of questions. So there were times, when we were doing our sessions where you'll ask questions and some of the boys would be like, KJ, keep asking all these questions. But it was one of those things. Even when we took our summer trip, and I know we're gonna talk about it, but when we went on the one exposure trip, you were asking a lot of questions, and some of the boys like, leave KJ, you won't shut up, you won't be quiet, we ready to go. But that worked out for your good. So I guess, like he said, I kind of second him. From what I seen, the only thing that I ever really think that triggered him for real was just when they talk about your height. Other than that, I think he always showed, great character. He always, got everything handled the way he needed to.
Yeah, I like. Are you about to say?
Oh yeah. But like before this organization came to help me, I could not manage my temper. Even during like elementary school, people be making jokes. You ready to flash? No reason at all. Just it'll just be like little things that'll make me wanna do other things that's like not necessary. Then I had to grow up and realize, hey man, not everybody trying to make fun of you. Some people just really trying to make jokes. That's how some people make friends. They make jokes with people.
Yeah.
Go ahead. But like after that, really just, especially with Miss Consuela class, she helped me build kind of like a mental fortitude and help manage my emotions.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you too. I was gonna ask you what helped you learn those things out. So having a young man, because we even deal with that now. We have a lot of young men that flash out. We just talked about an experience today that happened today with somebody flashed out. Outside of Miss Consuela, worked with SEL, social and emotional learning, anger management, different things. What are some other things through your experience that allowed you to see that, okay, that ain't worth it? Like me lashing out, me flashing out, that ain't getting me nowhere.
Just taking deep breaths, honestly. Just looking at it for what it is. Hey, he's making jokes about you. It's not that serious. As long as they not putting their hands on you or nothing, words don't really matter. Just take deep breath, walk away from the situation, just calm down.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of young people out here and adults out here that are putting labels on kids or kids that lash out in school. They put them in classrooms by themselves. They alternative place. They put them in different schools. And if you talk to some kids, I heard before that they say that just adults don't understand the youth. So what are some misunderstandings do you think that adults have about young people?
That we just do stupid things. It's not like, granted, not all young kids do stupid things. Some people have a reason to why they do them. It just don't work out for them. Not all young kids are aggressive. Some of them just have stuff going at home, and they come to school, there's no parents to keep them in check. They can really do what they want until then their parents get called. But you can be dealing with a completely different kid at home than there is at school.
Yeah.
That you remember your 8th grade year? What happened? So I don't know if you want to talk about it, but just because Mr. James just asked you a question and then you responded, and even in that moment when that situation took place, one of the crazy things was like how did that happen? Or like you say, everybody was so shocked and they were so upset. I think because I spoke to your grandmother and she was so upset about what took place. But at the end of the day, you just said it, and I think that's where I said it. We went to UF and they said, "What are your superpowers?" And that's what I said. Like I really think I can understand why a kid do what they do. So even in that moment, when I asked you that question, I called after you came back to school. I asked you why did you do that? And then you were able to explain why it happened. I'm like, okay, that actually makes sense because you're not that type of person that would have put yourself in that situation. So I think if you want to share that story of what happened and what you learned from it.
All right, well, the more you talk about, I remember I was walking in through the morning. I was talking to my friends. Now, I usually just like duck off, go chill somewhere. I just sit down. And as I'm walking over there, there's this kid sitting there. He's just talking. I remember one thing, he called me a pipsqueak. I wasn't tripping on it. Like I said, during my 8th grade year, I already learned some people just be talking. They ain't really finna do nothing. So I go sit down, and he ain't And I was just standing there. He's just walking up on me. I'm like, hey, bro, back up, back up. He's just still walking up. And then he got too close. I lightly pushed him back. Just as simple like. And then I said, hey, yo, bro, back up, bro. Then I'm going to come back up, grab my face. Then that's when I slapped him and got in trouble. That's it.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned, honestly, I don't feel bad for what I did. Ain't gonna lie. I think I did the right thing. I wasn't tripping. I ain't say nothing about him talking back. It's the only problem we had was when he put his hands on me.
Yeah. And because again, to the question that Mr. James asked you, and then your response was, the misunderstanding is that they think kids just do stupid stuff. But to an adult that doesn't understand youth or doesn't understand why you did that in that moment, they oh wow, well that was a dumb mistake or that was so stupid of him. But you were defending yourself. But again, that was just something where you're vocalizing that, a lot of kids, we don't do stupid stuff. There's reasons behind what we do. And I think, again, to your point right now, is just sometimes it be misunderstood from kids to adults. So,
Yeah.
I think one of the really only reasons why my grandma was so mad is because she thought it was going to jeopardize my scholarship that I had. But gladly, thank the Lord, it didn't. I still have it.
That's dope. One thing that caught my ear too when you're talking about the misunderstanding is people not understanding that adults may not know what kids have going on at home. With that notion in mind, what are some things that you believe like teachers, school staff should be like thinking about when interacting with kids? Like, how would you want a teacher to interact with you on a daily basis?
See what you can find in common with the kid. If like the kid loves sports and you're former sports player turned to teacher and y'all talked about saying sports, you can use that to connect with them. Make them feel comfortable with coming to you and establish some connections. That's what like most kids don't have. They don't have connections to go tell people about. They just keep it bottled up, which can lead them to doing stupid things.
Now, we just had a whole podcast last week about, maybe 2 weeks ago about connection and with beauty. So that word means a lot. So building connections. So you think our school, our staff need to work with building connections. All right. So we're going to do this. We never done this, so this is new. I need you to teach us right now. I'm going to take you the teacher right now. So building connection. How can me, Mr. Jamie, be better at building connection with youth? What are some things? I get what you just said, finding the ways to what they like, but what are some other things that I can do to be able to build connection with you?
With me specifically?
Oh, we can say you. Yeah.
Not sure.
I say youth at first.
Oh, youth. Okay. Youth, I say if they're having like some troubles, try to figure out, approach them as a friend, but still establish that line of border. I'm a teacher, you're a student. Don't let them cross over that line, then things are going to get blurry. But just allow them to still come to you and try to help them out as best you can, really.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. I like the answer, man.
Communication. That's
communication, yeah. Communication, connection, at least. I love it. So kind of shifting gears a little bit, going back to you, what was a turning point in your life that you understood that you was different? Because I always seen it. When being around with you, I knew that you was different. You had a different thing than a lot of other boys. But when did you understand that you was cut different?
I understood once I realized, like, for my age and for what most kids my age were doing, I realized I personally thought I was very intelligent for my age. I was doing things some adults didn't even knew. I knew. They were very surprised because most kids my age weren't thinking about that type of stuff.
Yeah, questions, boy. He used to ask some serious questions. I'm telling you, used to have grown people in the room like, yo, where did he get this from? So for sure, that's spot on with that, bro.
Yeah, and speaking about, so even being cut different. So for y'all that don't know, we took KJ down to South Florida, Google High Partners, a financial company. And it was a room full of 25 young men, but it was something about KJ that stood out in that meeting. He left and they offered him a guaranteed internship when he graduated high school. We're actually going back down there this year, so it'd be cool to see what happens when we go back down. But for you in that experience, what did what do you think separated you from everybody else that allowed you to get the opportunity?
From what they were talking about, I remember it was just them making deals. I've always been good at allowing both sides to like compensate or get what they need out of both people. And I found interest in what they were doing. I thought I'd like it. I wasn't expecting an internship. From what Mr. Jamie told me, the only thing that was supposed to happen was we were supposed to go down there, learn about what they do, and go back to the hotel and chill. But I was very excited and happy that they offered me an internship when we left.
Yeah, no, and that means that you're different. You know what I mean?
About to say,
That
you was just
means
being himself.
You were just being yourself in your room and got your opportunity like that. So congrats to you. So I'm super excited to see. As we wrapping up a little bit, one thing I want to know, if Kut Different never came into your life, right? What path do you think you'll be on right now?
I wasn't always a bad kid, but my temperament was a problem, most definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I think I'd still grow out of it a little bit, but I still have a little bit of a short fuse to what people like do or say. But I think I'd be down like a worse path than I am on now. Kut Different has helped me see different things, and I don't know. It's just helped a lot, ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. So we have a community of people out here watching. As we're building this brand, we always talk about protecting the brand. We want this to be a community thing, right? We want everybody, again, back to, I'm pretty sure you heard it takes a village to raise a child. So we're trying to build a village around you and your Kut Different brothers. What are some things that you think as a young man that you would think you need, like from the community?
Things to do. Just things to do to keep the youth busy. My grandma always told me, idle mind is a devil's workshop. So keeping the youth busy, giving them something to do, I think that'll help keep people from doing bad decisions. Like, some people will just be bored and decide, and out of nowhere, one of their friends be like, hey, let's go do X, Y, Z. And it can be something stupid, but because you have nothing else to do, like, sure, then it goes wrong and you're in a bad situation.
Yeah, boy, speaking, man. So the standard is the standard, right, Jizzle?
Yeah, sure.
The standard is the standard. All right. So tell me, what does that mean to you?
To me, that means no matter how much you try, no matter what you try to do, you can't go under that standard. Like, even if you do try your best, if it's under standard, it's not going to cut it. You can get better at whatever you did wrong to fall short. But I think if you keep doing good, you can reach that standard. But the standard's not going to lower at all for anything.
Yeah, that's dope. Man, one thing about what we do, man, it's not babysitting, Joseph. It's you're literally coming here to be better. Each and every day, I say daily deposit. Each and every day, you're growing a daily deposit. And ever since you've been with us, man, I see your growth. I see your trajectory. And it's a privilege to have you with us. It's a privilege to have you be able to step into that next level of your leadership, your growth with the junior mentors. And I even want to see you even take that role, take that responsibility to the next step, because this is the beginning of what you guys are doing this summer is like the foundation of what that's going to be. And that's another level. So for you guys like you, Demir, Zakai, I look forward to y'all, helping mold that situation for the next group of ninth graders that's coming up next year to be able to take it even further, man. So super proud of you, man. Proud to have you with us. And yeah, man, big time. Keep going up, all right? Yes, sir. Ross, you got anything for just before we get up?
Man, continue doing what you're doing, man. It's crazy to sit and think about where you started from when you were the kid with no hair. Until now you got the kid with, with the long hair. So, over time, I think it's a testament to what it is that we do. But to even hear you give gratitude and thanks to the organization for, giving you this space to grow and to see you in the future and see what you do, bro, that's gonna be crazy. So continue doing what you're doing.
I like it, man. So I do got one final question, Jizzle. Where do you see your journey taking you next? And how do you think Kut Different has prepared you for where you're gonna go?
By like next, you mean like out of high school?
Yeah, so just like, future.
I think after high school, my next plan will be to go back to Guggenheim to do that internship. Because who knows, in the future my feelings may change or they may still feel the same. Right now, I'm very interested in that internship. So my plans after high school, go there. If I can get a job offer and maybe a shadowing, like a next level up, you know what I'm saying? To do that, I think I'd take it. And Kut Different has prepared me very well, teaching me be respectful, be kind, don't be falling off track, be focused. And even if you're not actually caring about what they're talking about, still look like you care at least. So I think they've prepared me very well.
Standard is standard, just man. We appreciate you. All right, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment, man. This summer, man, I hope y'all enjoy these episodes. We just bringing y'all, putting y'all in our world, man. Bringing some of our boys up here just to highlight them personally and just highlight the work that we're doing, man. I hope if you don't get anything, that's what you get from these episodes, and even the courage for these young men to come up and talk about their stories. It takes a lot to get in front of cameras, get in front of lights, and talk about your story. So we greatly appreciate it. Stop what you're doing, like, subscribe, and comment. July 25th. By the time you hear this one, it's going to be real close to July 25th. All right, so I hope you bought your ticket by now, and make sure you're in the house on July 25th. The tickets may be sold out by the time you hear this, but make sure you get there, be there or be square, all right? But other than that, man, I think that's it, man. We'll see y'all next time.